I celebrate the differences between Jews and non-Jews. If you don't think there are differences, you're out of your mind. There are. If you don't believe me, go to Home Depot. Go to Home Depot. Home Depot is a code. It means Jews, you have no business shopping in here. Everyone that's not Jewish walks in there, they know exactly what they need. I need a 3x2 bipipe with reversible threading and a drip clamp, and the guy's gone. Jews walk into Home Depot, they look constipated. And then a half hour, does anybody work here? Does anybody work here out of pity, out of Rachmanis? They come over to help us. What are you looking for there, Jew? And we have no idea what the stuff's even called. I'm looking for the thing that goes inside. It's the piece that goes in before you put the other, you screw in the piece that's in. Oh, an anchor, that's it, an anchor. Beth, it's called an anchor. Yes, my neighbor, the guy, is gonna help me put shelves up, which is one of the nicest ways to use the word guy.
Here's the thing. I love that kid so much. I really do. But at the same time, and I'm 100% sincere when I say this, I also resent her. I really do. Because she's rich. She's a rich kid, and I know it's not right. I know it's a leftover hangover prejudice I had since I was a kid. I grew up really poor, and I was always suspicious of rich people. I didn't get it. I didn't like it, and I just didn't like rich people. I still don't, you know. And I'm rich. I'm rich, you know. I mean, I'm not rich. I pay my taxes, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean, and.
Saddest song in the world is Margaritaville by Jimmy Buffett. But not Margaritaville as it was written. You gotta think about what Margaritaville is now. Because now Margaritaville isn't a fictional location where some made up, relaxed dude like, I guess I screwed things up, whatever, que sera. Ooh, thatched roofed huts, white sand beach, I'll get over it. No. Margaritaville now that you know it's a real brick and mortar restaurant that sits in the parking lots of shopping malls throughout the country. If you listen to the lyrics of that song, but that's the setting, that's the darkest shit you've ever heard in your life. Not some fictional island that's in the Caribbean. How do we get to it? Stolen jet boat? Maybe one of them airplanes that has hot dog buns instead of wheels so it can cruise right up onto the beach. No, Margaritaville number 218, St. Paul, Minnesota, let's say early February. It's the tail end of a lunch rush. It's a community college dropout behind the bar just wiping off laminate menus. And there's a man sitting at the bar by himself, openly weeping into a basket of coconut shrimp. Some people say that's a woman to blame. But I know. This is my own damn fault. Hey, Terry, you want to get your together? There's families in here right now, bud. I get that you're a bit broken up, but we can't be like this. My assistant manager's here, and you're looking real overserved right now, all right? I can box this up, and you could eat it in your van, but I can't have this. That's a Pee-wee soccer team in the back room, all right? Let's get it together, okay? Can I get you anything else? I'm just looking for my lost shaker of salt. There's one on every table. What the f*** does that even mean, man? Why are you wearing up flip-flops? It's freezing outside. So Payless shoes across the parking lot. I'll give you the money for boots. That joke will be even better when I learn more lyrics to Margaritaville.
I now feel if you want to feel generally positive about the current state of the United States of America on a global cultural scale, what you need to do is you need to watch 90 Day Fiancé on TLC, because you watch that shit and you realize America must be doing something right, dude. Because people all around this world are lining up, doing whatever it takes, throwing it all away just for the chance to make it somewhere in the Midwest. They don't give a where they end up, dude. They'll do anything, up to and including marrying the biggest jabroni in the state of Ohio, gladly. They'll interview this guy on there. He's like, yeah, my name's Jason. I'm a 35-year-old dodgeball coach. And ever since my mom kicked me out, I've been looking for Miss Right, you know, like the type of woman that knows how to load the dishwasher and keep her mouth shut during Buckeyes games, that type of thing, right? And you're listening like, I don't like your chances, Jason. You don't seem like much of a catch to me. Then they cut to some beautiful girl in Estonia or somewhere like that, just like, Jason is man of my dreams. I often fantasize about being with him and eating hamburger helper off of paper plate.
My dad has spent his whole life running from himself. His whole fucking life. What's going on? Get the car, get the dog. We're going to the beach now. Can relax, Dad. We're on holidays. We could be on holidays faster. Dad treats life like a race. It's like a job to get done. Get born, grow up, meet someone, get married, have kids, retire, dead. Good, done. Done, good. Life's done. Good. What's next? Looks like the afterlife needs a mow. Let's mow the afterlife. Let's get that job done. Dad never looks inward. He's just going, you won't get me, life. I'm going too quick to feel. You won't catch me. I wish I was like that, you know, just running through life, leaving a wake of mentally ill children behind me.
Saw the new It movie earlier this year. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I wouldn't have been able to see that many years ago because I was too scared of clowns. I used to be really scared of clowns because of a childhood incident. When I was a little kid, about 7 years old, wasn't supposed to be watching, you know, like HBO, those kind of channels, but I'd always try and sneak it. One time I started watching it, and it was this movie Poltergeist, the original Poltergeist, right? If you've seen that movie, you know that there's a scene, there's a little boy, maybe like 8 or 9 years old, somewhere around there, and he has this clown doll sitting in the corner of his room. And then when the house goes crazy with all this like demonic activity, you know, one night he wakes up and the clown doll's gone, it's under his bed, tries to strangle him. Well, unfortunately for me, that clown doll wasn't a prop made for the movie. It was just a regular clown doll that you could buy at any toy store. That I happen to have an exact replica of. It was my favorite toy for whatever reason, sitting in the corner of my room. It was so close to the movie. At that point, it's like I'm not even watching the movie. It's like I'm looking through a wormhole into my own horrific future. So I completely panic, but I don't want to tell my mom because I'm going to get in trouble. You know, if she finds out I'm watching something I'm not supposed to. So I think, I got to deal with this in-house. And in my little kid brain, what made sense was to take the clown doll downstairs, hang him from a doorknob, and just kind of work him for about 30 minutes. Just punch him and kick him and talk tough. You know, you're not gonna strangle me, stupid clown. And then that backfired. Because about 20 minutes into the beating, I thought, well, if he wasn't upset before. Now he's legitimately angry. He has a reason to try and strangle me. So I threw him in the trash. And that's where the story should have ended. And would have ended if my mom hadn't taken out the trash that night and thought, oh, hey, Danny threw away his favorite toy by mistake. I'll just put him back in the corner of his room while he's asleep. Worst case scenario. I woke up early the next morning to use the bathroom, about lost my mind. Clowny, magically back in the corner, staring at me, and he seemed angry. He seemed angry to me. Had recurring nightmares for weeks after that. Became phobically afraid of clowns for a long time. But then I got over it. You know, you gotta face your fears, that's what they say. You gotta face them head on. So I was proud of myself. A couple years ago, I didn't like it. It was hard, but I went to the circus alone. A couple clowns came out and I wanted to leave. They're pretty creepy, but I thought, no, you're not gonna win again. I stayed for the entire circus performance. And then I had the courage, when the circus was over, to find one of those clowns and follow him home. Let's see how you like it. And I waited for him to fall asleep, and I snuck in his house, and I sat in the corner of his room. And when he woke up, you should have seen the look on his face. The smile was painted on, but the tears were real.
But I will say this, I have never seen the pile of guff that you people get. Everyone younger than the Gen X, so much guff. So much guff. You've caused everything. You've done everything wrong. My favorite thing you've done wrong, I don't know if you know this, but you don't know how to read maps. Did you hear about that? You don't know how to read them. We used to read maps all the time. They don't know how to read maps. They're always looking at their devices. They don't know how to read maps. They're always looking at their devices. I have this to say. I was there in the 80s. There was some map usage. Not as much as has been reported. We mostly use people. I would call you. I would go, I live here, you live there. How do I get there? I'd write down the directions on a piece of paper. I'd leave that piece of paper on the kitchen table. I'd get into my car and drive as far as I remember. And then I'd pull over and go to a gas station or a grocery store and call you again. Where do you live from here, I'd say. So you were not fighting a pile of Magellans. We don't know how to read the stars either. If I see a tree and it has moss on it, I absolutely never think to myself, ooh, north. I think dirty tree. Dirty.
It's such a crazy time to like be a parent because we're doing things so different, right? Like now you can choose your parenting style like you used to choose a Mortal Kombat fighter. Our parents only had one style. It was survival. That was it. They just had to make it through. But we chose conscious parenting, me and my husband, conscious parenting, which is annoying. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's annoying because it's not permissive. It's literally realizing every way in which you affect a tiny human life. And you have to be so aware of everything, and it's so hard because you want to fight them. You know you shouldn't. You know it's not their fault. But you find yourself getting frustrated at the craziest things. Because I would just be like, why can't you use a spoon? Give my son a spoon. He's like, no, you crackhead. It's just yogurt everywhere now.
Like I said, I live in Southern California. It's fine for the most part. My accent is a problem for me out there. Like, I found out there, this accent can f up any words. Like, it don't matter how smart the words might be, this accent will f them up, you know? Like you could take a famous quote like John Lennon's, "Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans." You say that to people in any other accent, they're like so profound, such wisdom. But you say it in my accent, "Life's what happens when you're busy making other plans." Like, oh no, he's not gonna tell us his plans, is he? I don't wanna hear this guy's plans. They probably involve truck nuts and tiki torches. This is bad.
I don't love everything that the Democrats do. don't. I have notes. I went to the Cheesecake Factory recently. And I sat down for a meal at the Cheesecake Factory. I don't go often, and when I go, I like to enjoy myself. And I opened the menu, and there were calorie counts on the menu at the Cheesecake Factory. And that's a bigger jump scare than anything I've ever seen in any movie. And I know the Republicans didn't do that. That was us. And I guess the idea there is that they're trying to warn us that perhaps the meals at the Cheesecake Factory are not the healthiest meals available. And I think we all realized that when we agreed to eat at a restaurant called the Cheesecake Factory. Factory is the healthiest word in the name of that restaurant. Every time I go to a restaurant I like, the server comes over and they say the exact same thing. They say, "Have you dined with us before?" Because we do things a little bit different. Never once has it been different. Never once has the server been, "Have you dined with us before?" Because we do things a little bit different. Now take your shirt off and get in the kitchen. You're making me dinner. Never. I've never ordered the charcuterie board and it comes out and so does Marina Abramovich. You know, she like sits across from you. It makes hard emotional eye contact the entire time you're eating.
And I know you're not supposed to judge other parents, but I do. I do. Only when I see them doing things that are detrimental to their children or to parenting in general. I can't help but pick up on that now. Like there was a woman who put out a video and it went viral. And this was the whole video. She goes, "I'm gonna teach my son how to cook so your daughter can't trick him into a relationship with her cooking." First of all, don't nobody want your dusty son. First of all, don't act like a basic skill is something to brag about. And second, how long you been out the dating pool, ma'am? What do you think is gonna happen? Do you think I'm just gonna leave a trail of empanadas that lead to an altar? And he's gonna be like, "Oh no, I'm married." What kind of idiot did you raise?
I've been married 3 years now, and I love being married. When I'm on the road, I see men talk to women in the wild, and it's crazy. I was checking in at a hotel, woman behind the counter, very pretty, and the guy in front of me is being a creep. I'm watching him. I'm 20 feet behind him, but I can hear it go down, right? He's checking in, and the woman goes, "Do you have any preference of what floor you stay on?" And I swear to y'all, this guy leans forward. He goes, "What floor are you staying on?" She goes, "I'm not. I work here. I don't stay at the hotel that I work." Do you think I'm a guest just chipping in down here in the lobby? Is that honestly how you think we staff this La Quinta? You think you gotta be the lifeguard tomorrow? I don't stay at the hotel that employs me, you moron. So he walks away, tail between his legs, rightfully so. Now I'm up next, right? I saw the whole thing go down. So I was like, okay, I'll bond with her over what a creep the last dude was. So I'm checking in and she says, "How many room keys do you want? 1 or 2? So I go, "How many room keys do you want?" And she did not get the reference at all, dude. I looked way worse than the first guy, if I'm being honest. The look on her face, she's like, "They just keep coming in today." I mean, is there a creep convention in town? What's happening here?
There was a lot of things that I saw people doing that I knew I wasn't gonna do as a mom. Like the one thing I don't do is boys will be boys. I don't do that with my son. It's too permissive. There's no equivalent for little girls. So I don't allow it. And you know, the parents that I've seen do it, it gets out of hand real quick. You just know it's gonna snowball to bigger things, like boys will be boys. He stabbed the babysitter. He's a boy. He's learning to express himself.
I only like restaurants that proudly advertise themselves as being farm to table. Oh yeah. Which is a very silly thing for a restaurant to say. Because that's where they grow food. And that's what you eat it off of at every restaurant. Arby's is a farm-to-table restaurant. It's a gross farm, and the table is bolted to the wall, but it's farm-to-table all the same. When I say farm-to-table, I mean something very specific, okay? I mean a farm that is owned by a nice lesbian couple who left finance and bought a goat. And when I say table, I mean like a door that used to be on a very old church that they've taken down and kind of fashioned into a banquet-style seating arrangement where you sit around it with 6 other couples who you don't know, you didn't come with them. And you all talk about the same 3 A24 movies all night. Yeah. When I go to a restaurant, I want the drinks and the light bulbs to be in mason jars. Do you understand me? I like restaurants that have an ampersand in the middle of their name. They cannot spell out the word and. It has to be a cutesy little ampersand, right? It has to be like Turkey and the Wolf. Or The Girl and the Goat. I would eat at Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Living in Philadelphia means I have mice in my home. It comes with the deed, and on the lease, it's my wife and I and 17 mice. You're gonna roll your eyes at this, but my wife and I were animal lovers, so we don't have the traps that kill the mice. Thank you. But we have the traps that trap the mice, and then you drive them 7.5 miles away because apparently someone drove them 7 and they came back. One of the most degrading trial and error situations, I would imagine. So you rehome them. You rehome the mice. That's what you do. And it's weird. I've been working my entire life to become a professional stand-up comedian, and now it turns out I'm just an Uber for varmints. That's what I put on my taxes. Uber for varmints. I have 20,000 dependents spread throughout the city. They say it's the humane thing to do, though, not to kill them. What they don't tell you is how weird you look when you drive into a random neighborhood, get out of your car, and then just release mice into it. Be free! I did the other day while a school was getting out, and this little girl turns to her dad, and she goes, "Oh my God, Daddy, is that a wizard?" Because no, he's more of a male witch if you get to know him, actually. That's more of his vibe. I've been going down to this place called the Jersey Shore a lot since I moved back to the East Coast. If you don't know what it is, it's like the beach where people from Philly and New York go. And there's a place in particular that I've been going. It's called Ocean City, New Jersey. And yes. And I've been going, like, that's going to have to be cut out, what I just did. We can't have it. Oh. They blur it out, you know, it's so humiliating. Like, oh! My apologies to the editor of this special. I apologize. So I've been going down to Ocean City, New Jersey a lot, and they had this issue where this is a real thing. Seagulls were dive bombing people on the boardwalk, and they were knocking food out of their hands and knocking hats off ladies' heads. So the local government in Ocean City, New Jersey, their solution to this, after much deliberation, was to hire a birds of prey company to release hawks into the air to go to war with the seabirds. What the f***? That was your solution? And One of my favorite things to witness in life is this thing that I call the I fucked up at work walk, where you messed up at your job and you have to tell your boss, and you're not going to get fired, but he's going to be a real piece of about it. So you're kind of just trudging, you're bummed out. And I saw a guy doing that on the boardwalk, and I will paint a colorful description as to what this man looked like. In his one hand, he had a little hood. How little? You might be wondering? A hood so little it would fit perfectly on a hawk's head. And on his other hand, he had a big, scary, thick leather glove going up to his shoulder. And this next part, I feel like I actually don't have to say because you're probably already picturing it in your head, but just in case I'm missing some people, long gray ponytail down his back. You saw it? We saw it. We all saw it. And this guy's trudging, and he goes up to his boss, who looked exactly like him, except his long gray ponytail was like 6 inches longer, to show rank. Excuse me. And our first guy, he goes up to his boss and goes, "I messed up!" And his boss goes, "What happened?" And he goes, "I lost the bird!" And his boss goes, "How do you lose a bird?" And I go, "May I interject?" It's a bird. I would imagine, is it the wings? Did it use its wings? Its God-given wings? Oh, okay, it flew away, you idiot. That's how... I'm not a business expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I would imagine part of the risk assessment when you open up a hawk company... Some of them are gonna fly away. They're gonna fly away. Hey, you lose a bird. Oh my God, it hit me over the head with a fish, stole my iPhone, hailed an Uber, and drove away.
I think about having kids. I do. I'm 37. I could have kids. I think about it. Until literally every time I call my brother, who has 3 boys under the age of 12. Yeah. Every time I call him, 30 seconds into our phone call, his entire life turns into the back half of the film Point Break. We'll just be chatting along, and then out of nowhere, he's like, 1 second, "What's in your hands? Show me those hands!" Fuck, one's on the roof, one's on the roof. Where'd you get a Nixon mask? That joke does better if you've seen Point Break. I think it's crazy how quickly in life we separate children on whether or not they have a chance at life. We do. You may be like, "What do you mean?" What I mean is reading groups. That's when there's 6 and we're like, split them up. These are the maybes and these are just keep them busy. But they don't say like which one's the smart group and which one's the dumb group. They're cute with it. They're like, "You're the red group and you're the blue group." But even at 6, you know. You're like, "Shit. My group loves glue. We can't get enough of this stuff." We're doing like glue charcuterie, like, why don't you take the glue stick, dip it in some wet cement? Yeah, it freaking rocks, okay? Maybe we should read a little bit. And they're like, "We would, but remember how last reading we glued all the books shut? Damn it." We did, and it rocked. It was fun. I remember one time, our teacher went to split it up. She's like, "Red group over here, blue group over here." And my buddy was like, "We're not the blue group, we're the glue group, right?" And I was like, "No. We shouldn't be proud of what we're doing. We should be ashamed." This story is just dedicated to the fallen brothers of the glue group. A lot of them aren't here anymore. Yeah, they blew up a lot of garages. Yep. They went out doing what they did best, guys. Just not reading instructions at all.
So it's great. What can I say, man? I'm a relic, you know? I drink milk. I still drink milk. You know? And people judge me for it, but I'm from the generation where milk was healthy, you know? Milk, it does the body good. Pass it on. How's that go? Build your bones so you can grow. Milk's got calcium, don't you know? It does. Yeah, that shit never leaves you. And I know that there's vegans here, and I'm very supportive of vegans. I'm not one of these people who's critical of a vegan lifestyle. I think it's great. I think it's actually quite noble, but I sing that, and it never left my head, and vegans go, oh, well, that was Dairy Council propaganda. That was milk propaganda that they fed to you, and milk is not healthy. So much so that now people actually think that milk is unhealthy, and when I go for a latte in the Lower East Side, and I say, can I have a latte? They say, oh, what type of milk would you like? And I'm like, really? I have to say what type of milk when I just want regular milk? It literally says dairy alternatives on your screen, but I don't want the alternative, so I thought you would just assume that I want regular milk. Unless I didn't want regular milk, then I would tell you what other milk I want. So I say, oh, regular milk. And they're like, are you sure? And I'm like, am I sure? Am I resetting my iPhone here? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what I want. You know, so then I posted that bit online. I actually posted that bit online I just did before, and the vegans were the aggressive vegans. Not all vegans are aggressive, but there's a militant wing of veganism, and they were hot in my fucking comments, and 50% of them said, we're the only mammals that drink the milk of other mammals. We're the only mammals that still drink milk after we've been weaned. And I'm like, oh, you think that's gonna turn me off milk? You're comparing us to other mammals? There's a lot of other we're the only mammals that do it. You know, like cooking, fire, and Taco Tuesday, and colonoscopies.
Been reading a lot of children's books. I don't know the last time you've read the Curious George books. Very disturbing. Let me remind you, right? So there's a man in a yellow hat, right? And he steals this monkey from Africa. Where in Africa? Oh, just Africa. You know, Africa City, Africa, all right? And steals this monkey, brings it back to America. To put in a zoo or a sanctuary? No, to live with in his apartment. Where the monkey goes on a bunch of adventures / attempts to escape his captor. And this man has the audacity to call this monkey curious. Yes, I would have some questions as well. Who are you? Where am I? Why do I understand English for no reason? And you knew something was wrong with this guy because his name was the man in the yellow hat. That is not a real name. That is the description of a suspect. Police interviewing Curious George's mother. Can you describe the man that kidnapped your son? All I remember was that he was a man wearing a yellow hat. Well, you didn't specify his race, so we know he's white. And a yellow hat. Well, no way he's gonna wear the exact same thing for every book of this series. But the thing is, it wasn't just a yellow hat, man. It was yellow pants, yellow shirt, yellow tie, pointy yellow hat. You see what I'm saying? This sick was dressed like a banana. He was kidnapping monkeys while dressed like a banana. He was the John Wayne Gacy of monkey trafficking. Number 1 threat to monkeys, man in the yellow hat. Number 2 threat, of course, monkeys jumping on the bed. His one fell down and he broke his head. And apparently none of the other monkeys learned that lesson. And they kept jumping on the bed, and the corpses of monkeys went all the way to the ceiling, and it was absolutely horrific. Man, I need more adult friends, man. Shit.
People would get away with crazy stuff in Chicago. Like, there was a bar called Coconut Joe's, a beach bar, nowhere near a beach. And there were like a thatched roof and tiki drinks and all that stuff. And they had this amazing, fun, and super safe thing they do where they just take a bottle of 151 and pour it all over the bar, splashing, not in just a nice line, just everywhere. Light a match, just light the whole bar on fire. And you're like, oh, yay, arson. What a good time. And they'd never warn you. Like, that's how piratey it was. And one night, there's a dude laying back against the bar like this in a tank top, and he had the most back, shoulder, and arm hair I've ever seen in my life. Like thick, like a Wookiee or a mammoth. So much hair. Like that thickness where if you took a baseball and set it on it, it wouldn't sink. It would just lay on the green right there. And he's just laying there, and sure enough, this dude's pouring the rum, and I'm like, oh, like I see it about to happen, but my throat seized up because I was so afraid. Whole thing went on fire, and so did this dude. Like, whole back and shoulders, just, and we threw a jacket on him. Thank God Chicago's always cold. There's always a pile of jackets. We grabbed 2 jackets and just covered them, right? Put them out. And I learned something horrible about myself, which is if I see someone catch fire, the first thing I do or say is not, oh no, let's help him. We should put him out. That guy's on fire, right? The first reaction that comes out of me instinctively is, wow. Oh no. Oh, is he all right? I didn't know back hair caught that fast.
I'm getting tired of the way companies advertise to women. There's this thing called femertizing, where they put a feminist lean to commercials to sell more stuff. And it works sometimes, but the way they're doing it now keeps getting weirder and farther away from the product, because they want to tug at our like feminist heartstrings. So they're essentially like, you enjoy being girl, right? And you like that girls were able to girl before you, girl? And you want girls to be able to girl after you, girl? Then buy Friskies. What? The cat food? Was this like a joke the whole time?
I grew up with a thick Wisconsin accent, but I had no clue I had a Wisconsin accent until Siri first came out. Remember that? I was like, hey there, Siri, how in the heck are you? Hey, tell your folks I says hi. Listen, I'm looking for directions to the nearest Fleet Farm, okay? I think they got one over there by the Quick Trip, and honestly, I gotta fill my gas, okay? So why don't you get me directions to Fleet Farm, and then the Quick Trip, and if there's a Culver's in between there, I won't be mad, okay? And you know, there are a lot of other iPhone users out there, and I want you to know that I know that. So if you got to, go ahead and get to me last, okay? Boop! Dialing 911. You are having a stroke.
I try to make myself feel better by telling myself it's not a Southern accent thing, it's an American accent thing. Like the idea that any thick regional American accent can sound kind of dumb, not just this one, you know? Like if you go to the doctor to get some test results back, yeah, you don't want this accent from the doctor. I know, you don't, right? You don't. But you also don't want some meatball from the Bronx, you know, like, listen, this is what it is, you got stage 4 cancer, what are you gonna do? No, what are you gonna do? I'll tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna take your chemo, you're gonna take your radiation, you're gonna kick cancers. Actually, I do want a Bronx doctor. I take that back. That sounds pretty inspiring, actually. But like if you're on a plane in the Midwest and the pilot comes on like, okay, got a little snow system up here, just gonna scooch right by there, don't you know? No whoopsie-daisies today, no sir, gonna be a hoot.
As a New Yorker, I travel a lot more now, and like the more I travel, the more I'm starting to see New York a little differently, and I don't like it. You know what I mean? Like you travel outside of New York, you start to pick up on things. Like that first day back is rough. I get back, I get off my flight, I look around, I'm like, it is kind of nasty. I don't want to feel that way about my city, man. But I go to other places and I'm like, there's no trash around your trees. Where do you guys keep your trash? In bins? That's disgusting. I don't touch my trash.
So these days, for me, it's Delta. Mostly it's because when I fly there, they call me a sky priority. And I like the sound of that. At first, it's too much. You're like, sky priority? Please, I'm a regular citizen like everyone else. One man, one vote. I never asked for anything more. Please, my father was a sky priority. But then they keep repeating it. They massage your ego with it, with little perks. Oh, right this way, sky priority. A slightly shorter line. And then you find yourself agreeing with it, like, well, yes, of course. There's a certain ring to it after all. Sky priority. There's nothing wrong with that. My mother always said we were destined for greatness. Sky priority. I think I deserve a separately stanchioned entrance once in a while. Excuse me, are you staring at me? I'm going to move my bag over here. You can look in your own direction. I'm a sky priority, thank you. Well, that's it means that I'm a priority of these damn skies. All the airlines, they have little categories that they have to compliment you. Make you feel special because you paid too much money or you got lucky and you're in exit row or something. They have these frequent flyer programs. They've been doing these since the 1980s. And it used to start out with just gold. That was the that was what it all was 40 years ago. Congratulations, you're one of our gold members. But they had to pile on more to sound more special than that over the years. So at this point, gold status is the lowest category on any air. Gold is the worst. When they board the flight, they're like, we now welcome gold. Boo. Gold will board last in shame. Gold will be stuffed into the fuselage along with the luggage. Now they have all these categories that are outrank gold, and it's, when you board the flight, it's just a parade of precious metals and gemstones. To get on the flight, when they board, they're like, we now prepare to welcome aboard all members of the elite Sapphire Squadron. All the rest of you will bow your heads. Contemplate the sacrifice of the Sapphire Squadron. And you will kneel. Respect and deference as the Sapphire Squadron. The jetway is yours. Oh, what's this? The sacred horn of the sky? What a rare and lucky day. That means that we have someone that outranks even the Sapphire Squadron. The Sapphire Squadron must yield. Yes, yes, yield, yield, I say. For today we welcome aboard a member of the Hermetic Order of the Platinum Chalice. Whatever it is, there's one guy. He's like, well, yes, I'm Platinum Chalice. I'm wearing my epaulets to prove it. I flew 50,000 miles yesterday. Here's the one extra bag that entitles me to excuse me. I'm a member of the Platinum Chalice. I am a member of the Sapphire Squadron, and I suggest you tread lightly. I am also beloved of this airline. Oh, the Sapphire Squadron! I've heard of you. Out of my way, dog! You will pay for this insolence once the One World Alliance hears of it. That's what's happening on Delta Airlines. That's what's happening in the shadow realm. Get into it. Open your eyes. Open your third eyes.
I think white people are the only race of people that like to be scared for fun. Like, you feel me? Not an attack. Doesn't make you bad. Makes you interesting. But not bad, but bungee jumping, skydiving, swimming with sharks, these are torture tactics. Some of you pay for them. That's a curveball. I just think white people get to have a different relationship with fear. Doesn't make anyone bad. I just think it's an interesting observation. White people can have a different relationship with fear. Like, I think white people are the only people you could walk up to and just be like, hey, you want to do something scary today? And y'all won't just outright say no. You feel me? You'll be like, well, what do you got in mind? You feel me? But like, you go to anybody of another race, they're like, no. But like, white people have follow-up questions sometimes. They're like, well, what are you thinking? Okay. Look at roller coasters, right? Theme park owners know white people love being scared so much, you'll pay for a picture of your own face terrified. That's their business model. That's how reliable it is. They were like, yeah, that's where we're gonna get the rest of the money. I've been in so many white homes and seen a framed picture of the entire family terrified. Why? Why is that even a thing? I haven't been in one black family's home and seen a picture of 4 black people absolutely terrified. And they're like, yeah, that's the time I got stuck up at gunpoint, right there. That's us. This is where I tried to sell my kids for my own life. So wild to me, man. And understand what I'm saying, because I understand I'm generally speaking, right? I'm speaking in generalities. I understand there's special case scenarios for everything. So please, like, I'm not being irresponsible with this. Just be on the same page with me. I'm just saying, generally speaking, though, that kind of holds true. I'm saying, generally speaking, I feel like white people feel fear so rarely that y'all schedule it as a vacation activity. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, literally put it on a schedule. You're like, at 12, we're gonna have lunch. At 1, we're gonna pet a tiger. You're like, what the f are you talking about? A tiger? Huh? You know what no one black has ever said to me? I wanna go on a safari. Not once. I got so many black friends, no one's ever wanted to go. It's our country, and we're like, nah. But I have so many white friends that want to go. Doesn't make them bad. I'm just saying it's an interesting difference that you can spot and go, oh, shit, okay. Why doesn't a safari sound insane to everybody? I didn't realize it was something we were so, like, polarized on. I thought we were all of the same mind, like, that's f***ing crazy. And apparently, we don't agree. I never understood, like, why it isn't crazy. You want to go to the zoo without the walls? That's what we want to do? You want to take away my favorite part of the zoo? The part where they can't get me? That's what we're taking away? Oh, all right. Every time I go to the zoo, people are looking at the animals. I'm looking at the structures. I'm like, that's a good wall. Like that net. Love that glass. I've never understood it. Why doesn't a safari sound dangerous to everybody? It's not even a safe web browser. You feel me? You ever open up Safari in front of somebody with Firefox? They're like, what the f are you doing, man?
Cause I still got the headphones, like with the wires, that's pressure. You gotta untangle it in a room full of Bluetooths. You headlining that show. You the headliner. And everybody just watch you going through it too. As you untangle it, it just look like you knitting a sweater. Just... Hey, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm crocheting right now. You're like, do you need help? You're like, get the away from me. Nah, I just want to know if you have Apple Care. I don't even like apples. No, I don't have Apple Care. I don't like that. Just... Right, I don't know, man. I just recently, like when you, how should I put it? Like, when you when you separate, you realize you realize really your flaws, yo. Like, I gotta do my own shopping now? Like, that's... Because she was the one who normally remembered to bring the bags, right? So now that's on me now. Hey, home, but we gotta get the bags. Oh, okay, my bad. All right, let's get the bags. All right? Now I gotta, like, go shopping, like, by myself. Like, this adult is crazy. This is wild, yo. You don't just be shopping like, yo, this is wild. This is... You end your whole day. What you doing? Like, bro, I just went shopping. I'm done for the count. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What happened? I just went shopping. It is wrap for me for today. Call out of work. What happened? I just went shopping. I need some time to myself right now. I gotta meditate. Cause you don't know what you're going through. Right? You gotta have like a favorite bag too. You realize that? Like a go-to bag. Gotta have a favorite bag. Like my favorite bag is the blue IKEA bag. It's my favorite bag, yo, right? Strong, right? Durable, right? The straps never break. And you could literally like put anything in it, right? Like during a hurricane, I just saw a brother just kayaking the blue IKEA bag. He put the straps up like this. That was like, he was like staring at it. I'm like, damn. And I'm looking at him like, damn, he going well against the current. That is beautiful to see. Beauty, art. It's good for him. You know what the crazy thing is, yo? I've never been to IKEA. I don't know how I got that bag. How did I get it? How did this bag become a part of the Robertson household? I never went there. I don't know how it looks. I heard good things about it. I've never been there. It's just, how? How did it get here? That's like when you chilling, then you just like see like a beauty mark on your body. Like, where did you come from? I never noticed you. You wasn't here when I first started, but...
The only way I found out that we were not as wealthy as I thought was the first time I went over to a slightly richer family's house for Thanksgiving, and we all sat on the same kind of chair. I was blown away. I was like, you've got 11 of this one chair type? Are you secretly a duke of some sort? Like every holiday meal at my house would be like, Ivan, go get the computer chair for Grandma. I'm dragging it down the hall. I wanted the computer chair. My mom's yelling out of the kitchen, no chance. You are sharing the piano bench with your brother. And you know it. We didn't have a piano, by the way. It's just the bench. My uncle's at the end of the table sitting on a yoga ball. Got a hole in it nobody can find, so he's slowly sinking for the entire meal. And I was like, I don't think we're as rich as I thought. So this was a problem, of course, when it came to buying a diamond ring. I didn't know anything about it. I knew I had to go to a jewelry store. I knew that I was going to interact with a commission salesperson at that store, which I was nervous about because I'm uncomfortable around commission salespeople. I'm very easily bamboozled by their tricks. I'm sure you can all tell this from my general vibe. Anybody watching this that works in sales, as soon as I walked up here, thought to themselves, this guy buys extended warranties. I know what I look like. I don't exactly know the kind of energy I give off on a first impression. I do know that it means if I go to any type of ethnic restaurant, it is a 100% guarantee that I will be cautioned about spice. It's not easy getting a medium with this face. Yeah, I'll have a medium. No, you won't. Not here, you won't. You had our medium? I doubt it. Guy looked like you got a medium yesterday. We had to call an ambulance. So you can have a mild and a milk. There's a lot of things I wish I knew going into this jewelry store. Number one thing I wish I knew about buying an engagement ring is you don't get to take the ring home from the store that day. Whoops, wish I knew that. They gotta make it the right size. So I just drove to the mall, maxed out my credit card, and then drove home with nothing. Like, gee, I sure hope they call. But they did call. I got lucky, I guess. I go back to pick up the ring. This is where it gets weird again. I show up, I was like, hi, my name's Ivan. You said my ring was ready? And the guy goes, oh yeah, okay. Then he goes in the back, he comes out. He's got the ring in a tiny Ziploc bag, like it was evidence in a murder. And he tried to hand it to me like that. I didn't even accept it. And he goes, oh, do you need a box? Yeah. Who's proposing without the box? That's the whole thing. How smooth of a guy do you think I am that I'm gonna kneel down and just dangle that out there like, babe! You wanna stay together till we're dead? They wrote my name on here in pen. Could be your name.
My wife, Lindsay's she's a good stepmom. She's great with the kids. She gets along with my ex-wife, which is nice. I get along with my ex-wife too, for the most part. We try and run parenting decisions by the other person. She's only done something once that really, really made me mad because she never ran it by me and I thought it was kind of an important decision. Just without consulting me, she just went out and got my kids a giant stepdad. And I didn't care for it. Had I been consulted, I would have preferred a tiny stepdad. It did irritate me. For whatever reason, I hoped and I assumed I would be the bigger dude. And I just wanted that to be reality. And then this guy's like 6'5", probably 250, 260. First time I saw him, I just had a sick feeling in my stomach. Just like, no! No! Why can't he be like 5'1", $110 or something? Some little step guy I could toss around to amuse the kids. That's a fun stepdad, the one who lets you toss him around. Hey kids, you want to see how high I can throw your stepdad today? It's funny, right? Get over here! Shouldn't matter. He's a good stepdad. He's nice to the kid. That's all that really matters. I don't think about him being bigger, a lot consciously, but he's definitely snuck into my subconscious. Because I'll be having weird daydreams. He'll make a cameo. I don't even know why I'm really thinking about it. So I was thinking about some little kid, playground argument. Like, yeah? Well, my dad could beat up your dad. Maybe. I don't know. He might not, if I really think about it. My stepdad could crush your dad for sure. My stepdad would destroy your dad. My dad, he'd probably have something funny to say about it. I don't know. He'd throw in a witty comment from a safe distance. Make up excuses later why he couldn't join in, I think it's every dad wants to be the alpha in the family. Like as a guy, you want to be able to protect the kids. Like if God forbid my kid's stepdad ever, did something like smacked him around, I would like to be able to smack him around without even thinking about it. Just go knock him around, see how he likes it. I want to be that kind of dad. I don't want to be the kind of dad who's like, what? Your stepdad hit you guys? Seriously, both of you? Man, that's rough. Bet that hurt. He's a big guy. He probably hits pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie, you're in a tough spot. You're gonna want to think about what you did to upset him and probably try and just do less of that. Good luck. For years I tried to get these greeting cards on store shelves. It just never worked. I don't know why. I thought they were fun. I feel like there's kind of, meaner cards out there now, which is more my sense of humor, but maybe they just weren't ready for them. I had fun stuff like, Happy New Year's, buddy. I made a resolution to hang out with smarter, more attractive friends. You take care of yourself. I want to thank you for making me believe again in the possibility of Sasquatch. There's no way that thing's entirely human. Congratulations on your new baby. As each day passes, you grow older and weaker. I've been working out. Revenge is near. Happy Father's Day.